Right, hello, welcome back to Kingswood Golf Centre. My name is Jack Lee, I'm a PGA professional. In this video we're going to be talking about how to compress your irons. Let's get into it. Okay, so welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, my name is Jack Lee. Like I said, I'm a PGA professional golfer down here at Kingswood Golf Centre. If this is your first time on the channel, please consider liking the videos, please consider subscribing. We've got lots more content of this nature coming out very soon. So we've got course vlogs, instruction videos, and like we are doing today, we are doing an instructional video. So, like I said in that introduction, today we're talking compression with the irons. Now, what is compression? Compression for me is a centered strike, first and foremost, so we have to hit that golf ball out of the middle of the golf club. But one thing that we're getting into a little bit more detail about today is controlling your loft. So one thing that has been a common theme with quite a few lessons that I've had recently is that a lot of golfers have been presenting too much dynamic loft. Every golf club has a set loft on it. Dynamic loft is what loft you are presenting when it comes to that crucial moment of the golf club striking the golf ball. Now this 7-iron has got 32 degrees of loft on it. Although it has 32 degrees of loft on it, that does not mean that we have to present 32 degrees of loft at impact. In fact, we have to actually take a little bit of loft off. According to PGA averages, there's about 20 degrees of shaft lean when it comes to your short to mid irons. So like I said earlier, what I've been seeing a lot in my lessons is people presenting far too much loft, and what we see in this instance is not compressing the golf ball. Let me show you what I mean. We've got flight scope set up just behind me. In this shot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release the club early. I'm going to cast the golf club, if you will. I don't really like that term, but we'll go with it for today. I'm going to cast that club. I'm going to present a lot of loft. We're going to show you how it affects distance, what loft I present, and how much of a lack of compression there is when we do so. So let me show you one. Okay, so that's gone super high. Okay, so as you can see on that shot, my dynamic loft was 27 degrees. So although that is slightly less than the 32 that we have to play with to start with, we've not taken enough loft off to consider this a truly compressed iron golf shot. The peak height of that one, so that is at the highest point in flight. How high is that golf ball off the floor? It was 104 feet. Total distance was 125 yards. Now I'm sure you'll agree, I should be hitting my 7-iron more than 124 yards. So here's what we have to think about. We have to think about ideas on lessening the loft of that golf club at impact to ensure that we compress it a lot better than what I just did then. The analogy that I use to most of my students is you have to think about it being a race. So in the last race that we just saw, that last shot, the head at impact beat the handle. So in that instance, we've added a lot of loft to the golf club. What we have to feel to reverse that is that the handle beats the head in that exact same race. If we can do that, we will ensure that the golf ball is more compressed as there is a better dynamic loft presented. We'll see the peak height lower, so when we think about playing on windy days, the early release, a lot of loft added, high floaty ball flight does not stand up. The more compressed ball flight does, it seems to pierce through the wind a little bit more and you don't lose as much distance. And all in all, it just goes a little bit further. So in this next shot, I'm going to show you how I would present the club normally. We'll see what dynamic loft we've got and we'll see how it changes the peak height and the distance. Okay, let's have a look at that one on the flight scope. Okay, so now dynamic loft has decreased to 16.3 degrees. They do say for tall players that the dynamic loft should be roughly around about half of the loft that you have on the golf club. Now that varies for different types of golfers. Me having quite an high swing speed, that is appropriate. The less the swing speed is, the slower the swing speed is, the slightly more dynamic loft you need to have on that club. Peak height, we've seen a change. So it's gone from over 100 down to 85 foot, and distance we've seen a big increase. We're now up to 140 yards. Golf balls we're using today aren't quite premium golf ball, so we still see a little bit of a distance decrease, but I've picked up 14 yards right there without changing how quick I swing the golf club. The only thing that I've changed is how I'm presenting that dynamic loft. Now let's take it one step further. In this next shot, I'm going to take off as much dynamic loft as I possibly can, just to show you what kind of results we get. And in the same sense that we see golfers not compressing the golf ball by having too much loft, I'll show you how golfers aren't quite compressing the golf ball properly when it comes to delivering not enough loft. So thinking about that race again, in this instance the handle is going to be way in front of the head at impact. Okay, let's see what it says on the flight scope for that one. Okay, so as you can see on that shot right there, we've managed to take the dynamic loft all the way down to 10.6 degrees. So we've gone from a 32 degree 7 iron, taking 2/3 of that loft off. It's now down at 10.6 degrees, but it has had a detrimental effect on our distance. So peak height has gone from over 100 in the first instance. On the normal flighted golf shot, it was round about 85 foot, and now with the lack of loft presented, we're down at 26.5 feet. The highest point that golf shot got to was 26.5 feet. Total distance again has gone down to 113. So when it comes to compressing your irons, it's all about delivering the correct dynamic loft for you and your speed. Now it's very hard if you haven't got a flight scope or a portable launch monitor as we have here at Kingswood Golf Centre to determine if you're compressing the golf ball or not. One thing that I will recommend to you is go and see your local PGA pro. So down here at Kingswood Golf Centre we are teaching 7 days a week. If you would like a lesson with myself, all my information is in the description below, so make sure you contact me via my website. And yeah, hopefully now you've got a bit more of understanding about how dynamic loft works, what it is, and how it could hopefully get you hitting that golf ball a bit more compressed, a little bit further, and just a bit better overall. So that's pretty much it from me today. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you're doing the usuals of liking, sharing, subscribing. Super close to 2,000 subscribers at the moment. Thanks ever so much for everyone's patience, cooperation, kindness in the comments. That's been nice recently. And yeah, until next time, thanks ever so much for watching. See you soon. Laters.